it's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching today. We're in the TMC newsroom. We are at Interop 2010 in Las Vegas. On our program is Andrew Jimenez, who's with Anixter. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Rich?
I'm doing well. I can't complain.
Okay, great.
So you want to give us an update on what your company's been up to lately?
Yeah, for those of you that are not familiar with Anixter, we're a global infrastructure company. So we're largely specializing in physical infrastructure solutions, largely cabling. So optical cabling, copper cabling, the physical infrastructure that you would need for your IT organization. So we're looking at power and cooling solutions, accessories, those types of products. We also have a pretty large physical security offering, and that's really the focus of the show for us this year, is that we want to showcase physical security for IT and data center applications. So that's really the direction that we want to take.
So can you go into that a little bit more?
Okay.
What sorts of specific solutions?
Well, they're largely more IP-based. Looking around Interop, there's a stunning array of technology here.
Sure.
If you looked at over the last 5 years, virtualization, cloud computing, all of these technologies are really in their infancy back, just 5 years ago. If you look at the physical security market, it was largely antiquated in the sense that they had largely analog-based technologies. So coaxial cable, serial communications, very closed-loop proprietary type systems. And we're starting to see the innovation that we're seeing in IT starting to leak over to the physical security space. So we're seeing more and more companies and organizations offering more IP-centric solutions. And the advantage of IP is the ability to tie multiple systems together. So really the focus of what we want to try and show is physical security, the ability to secure your assets within the data center, is really accommodated by these IP-based systems. And really that's the focus of what we want to show this week at Interop, is really that migration path towards IP-based solutions in the physical security space.
Now, do you have actual products out right now that you're showing? What sorts of things are you showing?
Well, the main one we're showing is a cabinet locking solution. We partnered with a company called TZ. They're an Australian-based company. They make smart fasteners. And really the goal of the product is really, again, to secure a data center cabinet. And we feel we've got a really good solution to help us do that. So that's really the solution that we're showing, is an electronic locking system for data center cabinets and data center applications. So what makes it really different from other locking solutions that are out there is that it works over structured cabling. So if you've got cabling already embedded within your application, you just simply install this solution in that environment, and it will run in a more plug-and-play fashion.
So if you look at your product line, what are some of the areas of fastest growth lately?
Well, I think in terms of the fastest growth, physical security probably represents the quickest or the fastest growth within our organization. Again, as the market starts migrating to more Ethernet-based and IP-based technologies, we're starting to see more growth from physical security, and that's across region. Again, we're a global company, so if you look at the growth in the other areas that we support, again, North America being the largest region, we're starting to see lots of growth in Europe and Latin America and Asia, these emerging markets that are out there, really adopting these state-of-the-art technologies.
Now what about optical? What's happening there?
Well, optical is interesting. I think from an optical perspective, there's a lot of work that's being done by the IEEE. So really the next innovation that we're going to see is 40 gig and 100 gig Ethernet. We've got a lot of products here today that are showcasing those types of technologies. Really on the optical front, you're going to start seeing higher data rates that are going to be supported through the multi-mode and single-mode cabling systems that are out there.
Well, there's a lot of cable out there that's becoming somewhat obsolete or damaged or worn out. I mean, I'm hearing all sorts of horror stories that carriers are dealing with right now. So it seems like there's a refresh cycle coming.
Well, I think there's going to be a refresh cycle just from the perspective that there's always new technology. But the cabling piece is very interesting in the sense that the cabling is in the wall for a very long time. So you need to make sure that it can support multiple iterations of technology innovation. Just to put in perspective, the IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, the guys that develop all the Ethernet standards, they're developing standards every 5 years. So if you think about it from the perspective of the cabling, it's got to be able to support every 5 years a new technology. So the cabling should be able to support minimum 15 years in terms of your application requirements. So that means at least 3 generations of electronics that need to support.
So we've got a little bit of time left. What's your what are the next things that we can expect beyond security?
Well, I think the next thing is better penetration of Ethernet into other markets, non-traditional markets. The one we're looking at right now is industrial automation. So factory floor Ethernet. So you're starting to see more and more IP technologies being developed for that space. And the other one is the smart grid, the utilities. So we're really starting to develop the ability to do smart metering and the ability to connect all of your endpoints within the public utility. And there's folks that are out there that are saying that the smart grid opportunity is going to be as big or bigger than the internet because of all the endpoints.
We've actually launched a whole bunch of smart grid products. We have a smart grid portal and a smart grid event, and we hear the same things. And if
you think about it, it's just staggering. If you think about the number of endpoints that could potentially be connected through a network, through the power utility or through some other type of public network.
Well, it's not just the endpoints, it's the arbitrage opportunity. If you can save 15% of the power, of the global power consumption, and we saw the arbitrage in the VoIP business just totally transform telecom.
Right.
What will arbitrage do in the smart grid business? We don't know, but we can sense that if the same sorts of things happen there,
absolutely,
that's huge.
It will be huge. So I think that's the opportunities that we're looking at, and again, being a physical infrastructure company, we want to leverage our core expertise on cabling into those new markets. So we're really excited about the future.
I can see that. Well, good luck, and
thank you.
Thanks for being on the program.
Thanks for having me, Rich.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.